What's up? What's up? Happy Wednesday, everyone. It is time for Live with Nana. I hope you are feeling great today and are excited for the conversation that we're about to have. All right. So, if this is your first time joining, welcome. My name is Nana Badu. I'm an image consultant, a stylist, and speaker, and I talk about all things related to style, confidence, and authenticity for women leaders. And today's conversation we gonna get up in your junk, the junk up in your closet. All right, we're gonna dive deep and talk about why that closet clutter is blocking your confidence. So if you're joining live, definitely pop up in the comments and say a hello. If you catch us on a replay, drop a replay in the comments because I want to know that you're tuning in then too. All right, let's dive in and talk more about why your current closet situation could be hampering your confidence levels. Okay. And this is really coming from the space of just what I've seen in the work that I do in helping women transform their wardrobes. And 9 times out of 10, after the process is complete and I have helped them organize their closets, clean things out. We've got piles, we've got some garbage bags, we've got some things for donation, alterations, etc. And they step back into the closet. The feeling of refreshed, renewed, clarity, confidence is instant. And it's by far one of the most significant parts of the experience of working together and produces, again, like tangible, real results that you can experience and feel a shift when you step into your closet to get dressed every day. Um, and so, in seeing how much of an impact it's had on my clients and hearing them say, whoo, cleaning out my closet. Like that was intense, but it was so worth it. And I needed to do it. And oftentimes it was something that I was prolonging doing, or I couldn't do it on my own. So it's a really significant part of the process if you are thinking that how you're dressing right now, how you're showing up isn't helping you feel confident as you move through your workday, as you approach your business or new clients, that it is not showcasing you at your best. Organizing, clearing out, decluttering your closet is a vital must. All right. So let's talk about a couple of ways that this is really like hampering your confidence. So number one is the messiness, right? It is messy and it is not organized. So, what happens when you open up your closet in the morning and you feel like you can't find anything, or you feel like I have nothing to wear? Sound familiar? Um, this is just stemming from the fact that your closet has just gotten to a place where you are not taking the time to organize it, to categorize things, to color code things, to organize things by function, by your lifestyle, right? To listen, to grab a Clorox wipe and wipe it down. Boo, okay? The dust mites are miting. All right? Like you just really need to take the time to clean, okay? And organize things. And really, when you do this, and you do this throughout your entire closet, right? You're doing this for your clothing, you're doing this for your jewelry, for your shoes, for your coats, right? And this is not something that might happen in one day. You might need to give yourself some time, okay? But what I've seen is that when you open up your closet door and it is a mess. There are things hanging, there's some stuff might be on the floor, right? Like it is reflective of how you get dressed in the morning and how you move through your day. I tell you that right now. When I open up a closet, I get immediate visibility into what your morning routine looks like. And I'm like, oh, you just be rushing. Like you are just hanging on by a thread to get out the door, right? Like you can't find anything to wear. You're pulling out a bunch of things. You're throwing things back. It's not on the hangers. I can immediately tell that your morning routine is jacked. Okay, immediately. And that is just simply from the fact that it is messy, right? Like when you have a great start to your day, it's game changing. It immediately puts you in the right frame of mind to give you some clarity, to give you ease, to give you focus, right? And all of those things contribute to you feeling confident about how you're moving through your day. So if you're starting off with your closet being in disarray and throwing a bunch of things on the bed and then throwing them back into the closet, that's problematic. It's giving you a frazzled start and it's giving you a rushed energy, right? And that those two things do not contribute to you feeling at your most confident, right? Listen, we talking a good word today, right? Um, living living on a prayer in the morning. What a terrible way to start the day. Absolutely. Okay. Like you want to be organized. You like organization is critical with everything. You need to be organized with your work, with your team, with the deliverables, with your business, right? You need to be organized. What's your task list? What are you completing for the day? Who do you need to follow up with? Right? What emails need to be sent out? What are the big projects? What are the tasks that need to be completed under each project? You have to be organized about how you deliver your work, right? So you need to apply those things into your closet. It's all reflective of you and where you are in life and how you're approaching things. It really is, you know. So when you are looking at your closet and it is, again, messy, okay, I can't get over the messy bit. Like, Lord, my temples, okay? Like, it's just messy. There's nothing about it, right? And you might be a messy person. Like, that might be part of who you are, all right? You might have some messy tendencies. But guess what? You're going to implement some habits to clean some things out, okay? Like and these are things that can change, right? Like if you know that you struggle in the morning, you got to get yourself organized. You might be somebody who needs to prep your clothes on a Sunday, right? You need to go into your closet, organize your clothes and your outfits for the week and prop them up for Sunday. As you move through the week, it might shift a little bit, but at least you're anchored in something and knowing that this is what you're doing Monday through Friday. So you don't feel frazzled and feel like Wednesday pops up and you're not sure what to wear, right? So you might need to get organized and put your clothing together for the entire week up front, right? I think, another thing that pops up too when you have a really messy closet is that you can't see all the things that you own, right? You can't see everything. And so you start to forget stuff you had. And then it's not until you clean it up that you're like, I've been looking for that sweater. Yeah, it was in the bottom, in the back, because there's stuff back there, right? It needs to get cleaned out, right? Like you probably got some gems, some stuff you've forgotten about, but simply because your closet is disorganized, like it's in the tumbleweed section, right? So you got to clean things up, and then also another thing that I notice is that when your closet is not organized, you tend to feel like you don't have a lot of things to wear, and you oftentimes can't find things, right? So this can lead to basically what you see most is what you're going to wear. And if you feel like you can't find the things in your closet because it's not organized, you're going to fall into a rut of wearing the same things over and over again, because you're going to stick to what you can see. And you're going to be like, well, I know I always put these jeans here. I've got 10 pairs of jeans, but the ones that I can see are what I'm going to grab. And so you grab the same pairs all the time because the other ones are at the bottom, in the back. You're like, I don't have time to go through this pile. Like, what I see and what I can touch and easily get, because I don't have time and my morning routine is crazy frantic, that's what I'm going to put on and get out the door. So you feel like, well, I'm in a rut because I only wear the same things over and over again. Yeah, you might simply need to clean out your closet to get out of the rut so that you can remove the things that you wear all the time, potentially move them to another space, and bring forward the things that you don't wear often, right? Really bring those things more to the forefront in your closet. Listen, habits will change your life, okay? And the habits you have around how you get dressed in the morning and how you organize your closet can change your life, okay? All right, so these elements of your closet just feeling very messy, and how that can make you feel like you don't have anything to wear because you can't see the things that you really want to wear in your closet. So you default to the same 5 pieces week after week after week, right? And it can be just overwhelming, visually overwhelming when your closet is disorganized. You can't find things. You know, your closet, everything in your closet should have a home. You should know how things are organized, because when it's time to put them away, that's where it goes, right? Like, I feel like we're breaking it down like when you have kids. You're like, this is the box for your crayons and your art projects. This is the box for your stuffed animals. This is where your school bag goes, right? When things have a home and you know where they're supposed to live, that's the easiest and most quick way to get organized. So if you are looking at your closet and you're like, well, it's not really organized in a particular way, like I think most of the stuff I wear, to work, it's kind of here, and then everything else is kind of mashed up. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You need to decide. Are you going to have workwear here? You're going to have your blouses here, your blazers here, your pants here, right? And then within that, how are you organizing? Like, are you color coding your stuff? Are you organizing things and saying, like, these are all my chunky sweaters that are together. These are all of my lightweight cover-ups. Needs to have a home, so that when you walk in, this is where this belongs. This is where I go to grab this thing. If you don't, it's just going to continuously be overwhelming for you. You're constantly going to say, I have a closet full of clothes and nothing to wear. You got to get organized, okay? Everything needs a place. Yes, Portia, everything's got to have a place, right? So this is these things, like these habits, it's just like, again, it's not setting you up for success, especially as you start your day. It's making you feel frazzled, feel, again, rushed, and then you're just throwing on anything, right? And then you don't have time to focus on the details. You don't have time to potentially iron. You don't have time to accessorize. You don't have time to take a look at yourself and say, like, okay, this goes well today because I have that presentation, or I might run into this client, like I have an important meeting. Like, yes, this feels good. You don't have time to double check things, right? Because it's a hot mess in the closet. All right. So it's critical to get it organized. Another thing that comes into play when your closet is messy or disorganized, is that you could be coming from a place that your closet is just really a time capsule, right? It is just really a time capsule of your life. And at some point, you're going to have to let go of some of the past experiences, okay, and let go of some of them clothes. All right, you're just gonna have to do it because your closet might be breaking at the seams, hunty. Okay, screaming for space. All right, the hangers are like sardines, crammed up in there, and they're like, why? You might just have too much stuff. Okay, you got stuffed sausage closet syndrome. All right, you got you got too much stuff. All right, and you need to reduce. You just need to reduce. And so you can't keep adding if you're not cleaning out and removing things. And sometimes it's really hard because you get emotionally tied to pieces, right? And you're like, oh, again, the time capsule bit. I wore this. This was the first suit I wore for my first job. Oh, this is the dress that I wore on my first date with whatever. Like, you just got all this stuff that has a sentimental pull. And listen, you can hold on to some things, all right? But give yourself a cap. If you've got a dozen things that are sentimental to you and it's taking up a good chunk of your closet space, do you need it? Do you really need it? Like, for real, for real. You know, you got to get decisive. You've got to make some hard choices and say, you know what? That blazer, that suit from that first job, I need to just donate that so that someone else who's about to have their first job can get set off in style, and be like, this is going to be great for you. Because the fact of the matter is, like, if you're not wearing it daily, why? Why still keep it and hold on to it? So oftentimes the sentimental pull is a big one that could have you filling up your closet and having things taking up too much space. All right. So you want to try to remove those things and give yourself a cap, give yourself a goal so that you can reduce some of those things. Right. I hear you, Tiffany, right? Just talking about that with someone the other day about letting go of some of those things that just have an emotional pull on you. Um, the other thing that you want to give some thought to is as you're thinking about what's in your closet that again was on that time capsule piece, right? And you're flipping back and you're holding on to all these pieces. It is inevitable that you are holding on to some things that simply don't fit, right? That simply do not fit your body as it is today. And, I often call some of these pieces some of your aspirational pieces, right? You're like, hey, I know if I just drop 5, 10, 15 pounds, I'll be able to get back into this baby, right? And show them what I'm working with, right? That is possible. It might happen, okay? It might happen. It might not. And you need to be okay with it might not. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. I too have experienced this, okay? But if it is just simply taking up space, especially year after year after year, you've got to let it go and make space for other things because it's not helping your confidence to open up your closet and continuously see things that you can't fit. It's just a constant reminder of my body isn't good enough. I'm not in the shape that I was before. I done had these babies and they just done took over my body. I'm over 40, menopause, this pooch, like bloating. Am I speaking to anyone or am I speaking to anyone? Okay. Like it's just a spiral that happens. So think about the pieces that are in your closet that you think are aspirational in a way that's helpful, but could actually be more detrimental, more hurtful to you emotionally and not help support you in moving forward in a way that really uplifts you and just gives you more confidence, right? So when you see these pieces, check in. How does it make you feel when you continuously see pieces that don't fit? If it's not making you feel good, remove them. If it's not making you feel like, man, I've lost 5 pounds already, I cannot wait, give me another 5 pounds, I'm on my program, I am doing my fasting, I am eating my good dark leafy greens, right? I'm getting my exercise in. Like, if you're not actively working in this space to have your body be in a space that feels really healthy and good for you to fit in that piece, you gotta pause and assess, right? You've gotta pause and assess, because you just can't open up your closet and have, a third of it be filled with things that don't fit. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. In the morning, you're getting dressed, you're like, well, let me try on these pants. And you're like, ugh, this is why I hate my body. This is why I need a whole new wardrobe. This is what the spiral begins. Okay? Remove it. Remove it. Remove it. Absolutely. Portia, like you're saying, you could donate those clothes to Dress for Success. There are so many local organizations that you can donate these clothes to, that are women coming back into the workforce, right? Young professionals starting their first job, having their first internship, right? So there's another young woman professional just starting out in her career who would love to have some of those pieces. So begin to reframe things, right? When you start to reframe things and see it less as detrimental and defeating, that you can't fit this anymore, right? Like, your body has changed. It is changing. So, like, I can give it to somebody who could fit it, who will love this piece, right? So you might donate it. You might consign it, right? It might be in great condition and a great brand, and you just need to say, like, I'm gonna let it go, give it to a boutique. Maybe I get a couple dollars for it, right? Like, there are multiple ways for you to begin to declutter your closet and make some really sound decisions that are going to make you feel better. All right. Oh, I love this. Portia says, if you live in DC, donate your clothes to Martha's Table. Okay, great organization. All right. So it's it's a really important space to begin to clean out your closet, right? And remove these really, like, physical blocks, right? They're hanging up. They are hanging up literally in your closet, and remove them so that you can fill them up with pieces and things that you love, that you can't wait to wear, that you can see clearly, that you can step into and be like, I am that chick every time I put this on. All right. And that leads into kind of the final piece I'll talk about around ways in which your closet is really blocking your confidence. And this is when your style is evolving beyond the pieces that are in your wardrobe. When your identity as a woman, especially in leadership, right? You are no longer at the junior entry level, or even potentially management level. You have evolved. You are a VP, you're senior level, you are an executive, you are a CEO, and you are, quite frankly, holding on to pieces that no longer reflect the style of who you are today or the leader that you're growing into. So you're holding on to these pieces for a variety of reasons. Maybe you're like, well, there's nothing wrong with them. They're still in good quality. Potentially, yes. But is it aligned with the style that you want to have, right? Or are you just defaulting and you really just need to donate it, right? To a Dress for Success, or to a Martha's Table, right? Because it's no longer aligned with the vision of who you are. You don't want to keep something just because of the default of it, right? You really want to be in a space where you have pieces in your closet that you love and they represent who you are and you are excited to wear them. Okay? So that's a really, really important thing to check in with yourself on, around, are the clothes that are hanging in my closet, are they really connected with the identity of the woman that I am in this space of my leadership, right? Like, does it really? Your taste levels are evolving, right? And honestly too, you might have your closet filled with things that you may have bought haphazardly, right? Maybe you bought things because it was on sale, right? Maybe they were some hand-me-downs that people gave you, right? But it's just now become a hodgepodge of things. It's just a collection of a variety of things. And so you continuously feel like, I'm not excited about any of this stuff. It doesn't feel like me. It doesn't represent who I am, right? Like, it's out of date. It's just not who I am. Like, yeah, I wore that 10 years ago, but not today, right? So your closet could just not represent you and be filled with all kinds of things. And that is 100% just knocking the notches from your confidence levels, right? Because you continuously get dressed and step into like a different version of yourself, you know? And so, what are you going to do to start to change that up, right? What are you going to do to change that up, right? You got to love your wardrobe. So, you really want to get into a space where you start to understand that it's important to take some time to organize your closet. Because if you're experiencing any of these things, it is definitely a hit to your confidence. And if you're a woman in leadership, you cannot afford to start your day not at your very best. And you can't afford for that to happen with the task of getting dressed. You've got a mountain of other things that you have to do. And entering your closet and feeling like it's messy, disorganized, that it's not clean, that it's not beautiful. Also, let's get into having closets that really are visually appealing and stimulating, right? Like, think about your favorite store that you walk into. When you walk into that beautiful boutique around the corner from you in the neighborhood, when you walk into Saks, like, the merchandising, right? The merchandising, the space, the clarity, the lighting, the colors. Like, you can have that experience in your closet when you open up and it's just like, whoo, did y'all hear the birds singing and chirping, or was that just me? Right? Like, create a beautiful space for yourself so that when you get dressed, like, that flow of good energy and confidence building starts there. And so you look in that mirror and you're like, I'm about to go. I'm about to go. All right. Okay. Yes, absolutely. You got to make space for that new air, Tiffany. Okay. So this is your chance and your opportunity. And right now it is the fall. This is one of the best times when the weather changes, right? That is an optimal time to go and revisit your closet. And if this is something that you need support with, send me a DM simply with the word closet, or comment in the comments and write the word closet, and I'll send you an invitation to a service that I offer called the Style Remix. And it is all about clearing out your closet and helping you get some new energy simply with the pieces that you already own. All right. So if that is something that you are struggling with, especially as a woman in leadership, let this be your call to get it all the way together for yourself this fall and as you enter into the winter, so that you really can begin to have a wardrobe and a closet that ignites you and doesn't defeat you. All right? All right. All right, y'all. I hope you enjoyed. Drop in the comments and let me know if you had any great takeaways from today's conversation. And again, if you are interested in getting your closet all the way together for this fall, comment closet or DM me the word closet, and I will send you some next steps about the Style Remix. All right. I hope y'all have a fabulous day. Bye.